Welcome. Happy Wednesday. It's another episode of Comma Convos podcast. I am your host, Dricka Carter, the one and only of Comma Convos. Comma Convos is brought to you to bring forth entrepreneurs, artists, and CEOs to tell you about their successes and struggles on their journeys. So today I have with me my guest co-host, Miss Celena Sykes. How you doing? Tell the listeners who you are.
I'm good. I'm Celena Sykes, a serial entrepreneur. Um, I actually did the math this morning. We are way off. It's literally been like 33 years.
Oh, wow.
So, and I really want to talk about starting from the beginning of entrepreneurship and when I decided that this was going to be my life.
Okay.
Because that started when I was a teenager.
Let's get into
it.
So
like most teenagers, I started doing hair. And, just doing my own hair, going to school, going out with my friends. Mm-hmm. And it just, can you do my hair? Can you do my hair? And then it became natural. It felt good.
Right.
And then before I knew it, I had all these people piled in my mama's kitchen. And I was the neighborhood hairstylist.
Right.
And, making very, very good money.
As a
teenager.
That's crazy. I started out doing hair too, but I cannot see myself doing hair to this day. Like, I used to say, I know I'm going to be doing hair. I'm going to make money. And this was before it was popular. The girls making money doing hair now. But yeah, now, mm-hmm. I pay for convenience now.
Well, I do too. As you know, Taylor, I always say Taylor's my stylist.
Yes, and that hair looking good.
But
that hair is
thank you. But, so it started with doing hair. And that's when I really saw my passion for it. Mm-hmm. And, doing hair in my mama's kitchen, it just wasn't about doing hair. It was about nurturing. Because everybody, when you're doing hair, everybody knows. Everybody comes to you with their life story, their problems. Yes. You become the counselor, and that's where I found my love for people. Mm-hmm. So it just transpired through there. It went on and on. And then, of course, like many teenagers in the same world, here comes baby number one.
Okay. When did baby number one come?
16.
Okay, so 16. You're an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Amongst all your friends. You're doing all your friends' hair. You traveling out the kitchen.
Yes.
And then boom, teenage pregnancy. Okay, so our stories is really, really similar because I became a teen mom at 19. Well, of course, I got pregnant at 18, had my daughter at 19.
And I was married by the time I was 19.
Oh, wow. Lord, we ain't get there yet. We starting at 16. Keep it there. Okay, baby number one happened.
Yes, baby number one happens. And of course, like most mothers, they're mad, they're disappointed. So I couldn't do hair in her house. I was on the bus.
Not you start my bag, man.
I was on the bus, literally with a hooded dryer and a backpack, big pregnant. And, a lot of people felt like, how could she do that to you, this, that, and the other? But the thing is, sometimes as parents, we have to show them tough love so that they get it. You do. To not keep making the same mistake. But guess what? I made that mistake twice.
Oh,
not that my children are mistakes,
that second mistake?
But within the next year, by the time my first child was 9 months old, I was pregnant with number 2. Yes.
And see, by your mom's teachings, she felt like, let me make it hard for you so you could not make this mistake again. Yes. Not saying that the children were a mistake, but you still living like, you know what I'm saying? You grown. Okay. I'm going to show you. And that's probably her reasoning, because
that was her reasoning.
We moms too, so we get like that too.
Yeah, so of course now I get it, right? Because we got some more to go.
right.
We got some more children to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I definitely get her mindset and where she was, her reasoning behind it. Mm-hmm. However, they're here now, right? So we can't do nothing about that. But again, so I'm 17 at this point with 2 children. Mm-hmm. And there's no place that can hire me, no place that will hire me. And what do I do with 2 children? So, and back then, childcare wasn't what it is today. So It was like, what are you gonna do? Mm-hmm. You gotta step up to the plate. Because of course both dads were absent. Mm-hmm. So here we are, and I got these 2 kids continuing my entrepreneurship journey, and of course still doing hair. Now I'm on the bus again with 2 babies. A hooded dryer.
A hooded dryer. Y'all gotta take the visual. Y'all have to picture a hooded dryer on the bus, big pregnant,
on the bus in the backpack,
getting stairs. People looking like they look like a baby with a baby, and they shaking their head, and they standing, and they shoes showing all, under their breath about you. Because think about the times. We rarely see teenage pregnancies now. Like they have them, but it's not how it was. It's not then. How it was. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So continuing forward, so of course I keep doing hair, and then one thing led into another, and by the time the babies are 2 and 3, I decide to not decide, but somebody came along, and which was a very, very good friend of mine,
right?
But it was on another level.
Okay.
So then we get into a relationship, we get married, and more babies start coming.
So at this point, you 19. You got to come back to 19 and marry, because I can't even fathom being 19 and being married.
19 and married.
What?
Yes.
So you already was just grown and gone.
Grown and gone.
Okay, makes sense.
Yes.
So yeah, life just went fast.
Super fast. Too fast.
You had to grow up. You had to be responsible. You had to make your own decisions, because you got 2 people looking up at you. You're responsible for 2 other lives along with yourself, and you still trying to figure out you.
Hold on, because we got 6 more to go.
So wait, how many kids do you have in total?
8.
8 kids. Okay.
8 kids.
Okay. So now we married. We 19.
We married at 19, and baby number 3. And it was a situation where hubby wasn't so sold on entrepreneurship.
Okay. That's hard,
because sometimes the money is there, and then sometimes it's not. And then you got these children. You got 3 children now, so now you have to struggle on where do you find your people, where do your people come from, because we didn't have what we have today. We didn't have social media. We didn't have you pretty much, it's who you know, and whoever's hair you did is a walking billboard for you.
Yep.
You had to learn that real quick out the gate. Like you better do your best, and nobody better not get out your chair and say
your word.
Right, and say anything negative, because that negative is going to travel faster than you know it.
Absolutely.
So you definitely have to do your best, but being in the marriage with 3 kids and trying to continue entrepreneurship. Number one, he didn't want people in his house. But where are we supposed to go? So now you treat me like my mom. So are you supposed to be my mate and my help partner, making this harder for me than what it needed to be? So, and that's where the whole title of everything came from, is my manifestation. From misery to millions.
Okay, so at 19, 3 kids, you unhappy?
Yes, very
unhappy. Okay, so who did you run to? Like, what would be your coping mechanism, or what would you tell a young lady that's listening right now, that's in this position, that's 19, 3 kids, married, or either common law?
That is a good question, because
my family.
And I'm going to be absolutely 100% honest and transparent about that answer. I don't know what to tell her. I don't know what to tell her. And what I ended up doing in my situation was trying to make the best of a bad situation, thinking that a person was going to change, thinking that I could change him, thinking, and like, even for me, so I grew up too, y'all. Now, come on. We're going to really talk about it, because I grew up as the preacher's grandkid. So I'm not shy on the word. I know the word.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm putting him first, but I didn't put him first. I put man first. So that was my biggest mistake. And that's why I don't know how to answer that question, because everybody has a different walk. Everybody, everybody's situation is different. I would have to know a little bit about the situation, then give that answer, rather than just giving an answer cold turkey. And
okay, so what would you tell your 19-year-old self?
Run. Run, girl.
You would tell your 19-year-old self run, because I'm saying that because I'm thinking about my 19-year-old self in that moment, and it was like a totally different story. Like, it wasn't like, okay, get out. Your parents always threaten you before you even go there and get pregnant. They threaten you and they say, oh, don't bring no babies in this house. And just talk to me. And back then it wasn't even just talk to me. It was, don't do it.
Just don't do it.
And you still did it. Because why? Your friends doing it. The peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? You just want to see what's up. And you see what's up.
And you see.
And it ain't what's up.
For real. It's not.
So, like, for me, at that moment, like being 18, I just was finally grown it on my own. First year in college, just graduated from high school. Nobody can't tell me nothing. I got a car. I got a house. I'm in college. I got a job. I'm doing my thing. Nobody can't tell me nothing. I don't have no curfew. Nothing. I'm a big dog in my mind at 18.
Right.
And then boom, I get pregnant. And I never forget my auntie told my mama, "Oh, I'm gonna tell you how if she pregnant or not. Get a EPT. Remember the EPT? Get an EPT." So my mama was like, "Oh, I need you to take this." She never asked me nothing before. Like she just know I was grown. I'm always out. I'm sleeping out at this point, you know. And she was like, "Oh, I need you to take this." I was like, "I ain't pregnant. I know I ain't pregnant." I kid you not. I probably was still no showing or nothing. She was like, "Oh no, she pregnant. I think she pregnant." I took the test. Sure enough, I was pregnant. And I'm just denying it down. I'm like, "Oh no, I know I ain't pregnant. I ain't pregnant. Could never, can't be." Was pregnant. So my mom was like, "Oh, you need to go to the doctor, get everything together." So go to the doctor. Literally, like the next day after the doctor gave me all the prenatals and all that stuff, I started showing. Like it was literally like the next day. I went to school. I was at Suno. I was at school. Everybody, no, like literally, everybody was like, where did mom come from?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pregnant.
It is what it is.
I'm here, but I'm still more screw." So from that point, I just felt like, okay, I got somebody looking up to me. I have to do what I have to do. I'm not putting this baby on my mama. But I also had friends around me that had children and had multiple children, like back to back, like similar to your situation. And I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to do that." So I made sure I ain't do that. My whole thing is always, "Oh, fool me once. You got me. I'm good. I'm good with this one. Nobody not gonna watch 2 children, let alone 3, let alone 4, let alone." Oh no.
Yes.
So how did you pivot from misery to manifestation?
Time. Time. Look, time is only in the eye of the beholder, but sometimes it just takes patience and perseverance.
Yes.
And you just take it one day at a time. Did I know it would come to this point? No. Did I think it would ever come to one day of divorce? No. Never thought of the divorce. Never.
Right.
But like they say, when a woman's fed up, it's just ain't nothing you can do about it. And then, my sign got a lot to do with it too. I'm a Virgo.
Oh Lord, these Virgos, the Virgos be a little
you
emotional.
Already know.
Y'all be
very
emotional.
Very emotional.
Erratic.
The emotions kick in first, and then it becomes anger. And then the anger turns into drive. So and a lot of people think that that's crazy, but to us, it makes all the sense in the world.
I'm sure it does.
But it just became frustrating, and it became frustrating because I'm trying to not only help him support, but also have something that I can call my own.
Right.
He wanted me to have motherhood as something that I could call my own, but my mindset and the way that I'm built, if something happened to my husband today or tomorrow, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
Not ever, not at that point, not even having a GED, not having a high school diploma, never had a job.
So wait, let's go back. We dropped out.
Yeah, we dropped out.
We were full time doing hair with this hoodie dryer.
Yes.
On a bus. Yes. Married to this unsupportive husband.
Yes.
At 19. Yes. And I thought I had caught me a prize.
Girl, did I ever. So I think, all right, we're going to shift this thing a little bit, right? Yeah. And I'm not going to do hair because that's not what he want me to do. All right? He don't see my vision. Which, y'all, look, let me tell y'all, your vision is your vision. Nobody else is going to see your vision. So
your other eye don't even see your vision.
That's right.
You can have 20/20 in this eye and 50/30 in this eye. Your other eye don't even see your vision.
That's right.
So you can't expect your husband that's outside of your body to. Yeah.
Yes.
Even your friends, your sisters, your cousins.
Even when you partner with his mother. So
we're going deep.
The mother-in-law was doing Amway. Do you remember Amway?
Yeah, I remember Amway.
Okay. So I said, mother-in-law, what is this? This was my first introduction to multi-level marketing.
Yes.
Right? So I get into Amway with my mother-in-law. And again, he's against it.
I'm working with your mom. I can't even go work with your mom.
Go work with your mom.
I can't even work with your mama.
So he's against it. So again, me trying to shift. So this is how the serial entrepreneur was born. Because all right, that didn't work. Well, maybe it's just a company you don't believe in.
Right.
So now I have an aunt who does Mary Kay. So I get into Mary Kay with the aunt. Now I'm spending too much time at my auntie house. Because we're giving the Mary Kay parties.
Yeah,
and my auntie, she makes the best tuna fish. So I'm like, auntie, as long as you making that tuna fish, I'm on my way. So again, and then it's something that I can bring my children with me.
Yes.
You know, and then they get to see and learn everything that I'm doing. That was a no-no too.
Oh my God.
Everything. So it was
he just wanted you to be a traditional housewife.
He wanted me to be the traditional
At 19
housewife.
though, like, sir. I'm 19.
Look, in 19, and it wasn't even about being out with my friends, because remember, I'm in the kitchen doing hair. While my friends was at the parades and clubbing and doing all that.
Right.
I was too tired to go because I had just finished doing everybody hair. Yep. So it really wasn't about hanging out. But I wanted a pair of shoes. I wanted a handbag.
Something.
You know,
something
I wanted
for
my
me.
own car. Exactly.
Something for me. Yeah.
Exactly. I wanted something for me. And not only that, when you have that many children and you're not providing for them yourself, or you feel like you can't provide for them, that's a problem.
It is.
That's a problem. And it was a problem for me. So that's why I just continue to fight this battle on entrepreneurship, even though, let's get back into being the preacher's grandkid.
Come on.
Even though I know I'm going against being, what do they call it? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Submissive wife.
Thank you, Dricka. Girl, that's
I'm here. I'm here. I'm telling you, I'm here. I'm here.
Girl, yes, being the submissive wife. And I know I'm going against it 10 toes down.
But you're not, though. You conforming. You're sacrificing. You're doing all the things that you think that he wants you to do because you thought that he would eventually support and change. And
now let's put a twist on it now, because I done did all that.
So wait. Not the twist yet. We're going to get to the twist. But was he like an alpha male when you met him?
Yes.
So did you understand that and know that?
We're going to call him the alpha male amongst something else, but I'm not going to be negative. Because the man ain't here to defend himself.
Okay,
but, you know, because I round table discussions.
I respect that.
But yes, he was the alpha male. And then me being a Virgo, which you're best friends with a Virgo, so you know we are the alpha female, and it's just what it is.
That's true. And y'all want y'all way.
We want our way. And we gonna fight tooth and nail until we get it.
Yes, as you should. Should. Okay, so back to the twist.
So the twist of it is, I never gave up on entrepreneurship. And then time goes on, and of course we're doing birthday parties, this, that, and the other. So I needed a balloon guy, right? So my mom sends the balloon guy. Well, I'm not gonna call his name. So my mom sends a balloon guy. He does the balloons, and when he walks in, he's like, "Celena, you did all this stuff yourself?" I was like, "Yeah, we talking about before y'all even knew anything about a treat bag, a candy bag,
parties,
yeah, girl, I was doing it all, the cake, everything,
because you had to,
you know." And by that time, girl, I was getting $1,100 a month food stamps. So
that's what I'm saying. So, but the money was funny and the change was strange, but we had to make it happen.
Exactly. So it's full-fledged party, and I'm talking about everything to where I rented the costume and put a family member in it. Like, y'all gonna be making Minnie Mouse, somebody gonna do this, somebody gonna be clown.
Gotta entertain my kids.
Exactly. So we had this big extravagant event. So when this man came and did these balloons, he was like, if I gave you a balloon, excuse me, y'all. If I gave you a balloon tank, what would you do with it? I said, what would I do with it? Boy, I'm about to turn this thing on. What you talking about? What would I do with it? So now here we come with the balloon business.
Okay.
So now Celena's Creations is born.
Okay. So at this point,
hubby decides to take it to Baton Rouge himself and LLC it. Without me.
LLC, your business.
Yes.
Your thoughts, your ideas, your work.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it's giving control.
Yeah.
Oh, it's giving control.
So lo and behold, I didn't pay that no mind. So I'm thinking this is what support from a husband looks like.
Yeah, you still in my mind.
Right. So at this point in time, I'm thinking, all right, I got him on board. We about to take this thing and we about to make some millions now. We about to do this. Was our mistake? All right. So
was I wrong?
Right after the LLC happens, his birthday comes up, and I give him this extravagant birthday. Of course, I have all these kids to cook for, and it became that because I have a big family and I cook for them already. I was already cooking for my kids, neighbors' kids, my mom, people my mom was going to invite, my sister's kids, which she have 7, my cousin's kids, she got 6. So
it's already the
for all these people, right? We cooking for all these people. So what I decided to do when I knew I had his birthday coming right after the holidays, which was in March, I'm gonna freeze this food and I'm gonna have a big spread for his birthday along with what I'm gonna cook. So I give the birthday party for him on AP Tour at the little bar. I can't remember what it was. It was a blue building right in the middle of the block on AP2 Road between Galvez and Europe. I can't remember. Not bullets. Not bullets. Go further down towards St.
Or like where the duck off at.
Past the duck off. 2 blocks over. It's right in the middle of the block. I can't remember what it was. Think. Okay, yeah. But anyway, so we give this birthday party, and the barmaid asked me, "Do you want me to serve the food? Can everybody eat?" And I was like, "No, let our guests eat first, and then whatever's left over, disperse it throughout the club because I'm not bringing nothing home.
That's it. I'm done with it. We're not refreezing."
So we went ahead and gave the food out or whatever, and everybody was like, "Man, who cooked this food? Do they cater?" He speaks up for me and says yes. So now
you do balloons
and catering. When we
you're not a caterer.
I'm not a caterer. I just cook. And I'm the type of person, I like my Grand Marnier. I like a bottle of wine. If it's cold, I like my Bailey's Irish cream. And we gonna get in the kitchen and we're gonna throw down amongst good conversation.
That's it.
Good cooking is not quick cooking to me.
Yes.
That's my thing.
I feel like you have to be in love in the kitchen.
Yes.
One thing about it. You have to bring love to the kitchen.
So when we started pumping out this food and everything is on schedule, you're talking about misery turned up to 1,000. I was completely.
So you're getting the orders.
I'm getting orders.
You're getting the money.
We're making the money. And we pumping out good food.
But this is not what you want to do.
But that's not what I want to do.
You made that decision for me.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's hard because you wanted the support. You wanted to do something with your husband.
The twist.
And then, like, I'm dissecting it. I don't know if y'all listening. I don't know if y'all paying attention.
Yes.
But we get into it. Like, I don't know if y'all paid attention to who Celena is. And all of this is bringing you to who Celena is today.
Yes.
And who the future Celena is going to be. But, okay, so now y'all in business together. Forced.
Yes.
Because you didn't ask for LLC. This was a hobby.
LLC, yes.
Right. And with the things that you were doing, he didn't support wholeheartedly.
Then we're operating illegally because you can't have a catering company out of your house. It has to be. So we're posting
then you probably could have slid
as Celena Creations, the balloon company.
But you still sliding the food.
Sliding the food.
But what if? Oh my God! So all the liabilities, like, what if somebody gets sick? What if somebody wants to sue? What if these are the things we think about now because we're poised business owners. But back then we was just hustling.
We was hustling, but that also came to mind because I lead by integrity. Always have.
Right.
Girl, come on, let's jump back to that Virgo.
Right.
Virgos. Our sensibility is if we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it 100%, and we're gonna do it right.
Or I'm not gonna do it at all.
Or we're not gonna do it at all. Yeah. So that was always my mindset, is to do it right. And I wanted to know what I was doing. To be honest with you, within the past 5 years, I'm just learning what it is to be a businesswoman on my own 2 feet, having it built correctly, having it, all the legalities in place. Just learning that. And been in this over 33 years.
For me, I'm just learning what I want.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Because I was always, oh yeah, whatever y'all want is cool. Like very, very passive. Like if y'all say, oh, we getting something to eat, you want something? Yeah, whatever you getting. Like I'm not even looking to really see what I want. And so I found that was a flaw of mine. So I'm working on it. No, I'm gonna tell you what I want, how I want.
Right.
What colors, what style, what size. Like I'm learning. That's one of my boundaries. I need to say what I want instead of saying, oh yeah, whatever you choose. I can't let you choose for me.
Right.
I can't let nobody choose for me.
And I learned that when I was always outgoing and knew exactly what I wanted, being in that marriage, I lost that.
Right, because you was always sacrificing.
Then it became whatever you want, or whatever. I'm just going with the flow.
Ooh, that's bad.
And then again, I'm miserable. That is part of my misery.
Because you're going with the flow, and it's not your flow.
And then it becomes that not only is it not my flow, it just becomes so, it just engulfed me to the point where now I don't recognize who I am as a person, because everything is, and literally I used to cry to myself at night, and not because I was mad with him, but because I was mad with myself. Because we all have accountability. Yeah, you don't just you don't get to a certain age where you realize you need to take accountability. You need to take accountability. I believe that everybody walking the face of this earth knows that they have to take accountability. They just choose to pass it off on somebody else because it's easier. And I don't live like that. I live in my own truth because I want the easy to come. And the only way to make it easy is to face it, embrace it, and move forward.
Right.
So with the balloon company and the catering company, Katrina hits.
Oh, okay. So now we in 05.
When I tell y'all, it was a burden lifted off of my shoulders. I wasn't anxious to get here to see what we could save.
So where did you go for Katrina?
We went to Alabama. Alabama is where my grandparents are. The preacher and his wife. Yeah.
So at this point, you have how many kids?
8.
Okay, so you all the way at 8 kids.
Yes, we had 8 kids.
Okay, so the 8 kids, the last 5 is for
the last 6.
6 for the husband.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're at 8 kids now, and then if anybody knows anything about Auburn, Alabama, it is Bible country.
The Bible thumpers.
Yes. And you go to church or you don't show up to Mama house on Sunday. So we was in church. So then comes the spiritual battle. He's against it. He wants to say that the Bible is a mental piece that pastor uses. Now, my grandfather was not our pastor. He was, on the board of pastors, which their church had its main pastor who would preside over the ceremony, not ceremonies, but the service and everything every morning. My grandfather became his own pastor, doing his own services later on, but shortly after Katrina.
Okay.
But it just became another level of control because I wanted to step outside of the box of what he thought was the norm or the correct thing to do. And again, I'm not that submissive wife because I'm going to submit unto the Lord and I'm not going to submit to you.
Right.
So at this point, the marriage is dissipating.
Yeah. We just going through the motions. We just here for the kids.
Yes.
Right.
So, and then Katrina, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, Katrina, and I hate to go back so far, but it is what it is. Katrina, for me, revealed a lot.
Revealed, okay.
A lot.
I see that.
I know for some people it was devastating. It was horrible. But for me, it was something that I needed to happen.
It took you from going through the motions to putting you in motion.
Exactly.
Put Celena in motion.
Exactly.
Right? Like, what does Celena want? What does Celena desire to have?
Yeah. I should
desire to build
because I feel it coming. But with Katrina happening in what it revealed, knowing me and my tenacity, I'm a fighter, and I'm not just a fighter in spirituality, but I'm a fighter physically. I saw a person, even in myself, that changed.
Okay, so what changed you during that moment? Because it was a moment of tragedy for a lot of different reasons, not just because we lost so much.
Well, but for me, my family was together. I knew where my mama was. I knew where my sisters was. I was with my daddy's parents who owned acres of land. They had us in a house big enough to support all of us. The church pulled together and took care of us. From me, the family, or my heart was where my family was. But that wasn't the reality for everybody else, and it wasn't the reality for him. Because I soon learned that his heart wasn't with his family.
And how did you learn
it? He
decides, the man you was being submissive to.
Yes.
Sacrifice.
Yes.
Going with the motion.
Yes.
Oh, you hard now with your family.
You know, it's not with your family.
Oh, where your heart was at?
Here in New Orleans.
Mm. No. I don't like that little giggle, Celena.
So this is how I found out. I had this I hate to call it a ritual, y'all, but I had a routine. Okay, I'm a mother of 8 right now. Of course, all these 8 kids get to an age where they all got to go to school, and 4 of them are girls. So they 4 and 4, y'all. We got 4 girls and 4 boys.
Okay.
So we got all this hair to do, which I'm not. I'm not new to. With doing the hair, so we could get this hair done with 4 heads, no problem. Even 5, including my own. That's no problem. But we had this routine where I set the girls down on the weekend and we did hair before, before church. And that was the hairstyle for the whole week, of course.
Right.
But we sat down to do hair, and that was our one-on-one time. Tell me how your week went. Tell me what happened in school. What did your teacher say? How did that make you feel? Those type of moments, those real conversations.
Those conversations with your
kids? Even being rare. A parent that young, because that's what I wanted from my mom. Ooh, but I didn't get it.
You said something right there, because I always tell my daughter, like, we have open lines of communication. I don't care what it is, and she's really big on telling me everything. Like, she don't care. Her friends be like, "You told your mom?" Yeah. You ain't tell your mama that?
My oldest daughter to this day calls me and be like, "Girl, guess what happened?" I be like, "Girl, who you think you talking to?"
Right? Because we can't. Girl, who? You can't say girl. You can't say she. Who is she?
Girl, look. And I be like, "Girl, who you talking to? Come on, ma. Come on now, girl. Yeah. Look." I be like, "Girl, go ahead."
That's deep though. Like, even like the younger ladies listening that don't have that open relationship, go get it.
Go get it.
Go talk to your mama.
Yeah.
Because she was raised under different circumstances.
And the thing about it is, don't condemn your parents. I did condemn my mama for a long time for certain things that I thought should have happened, but that's not her reality.
Right.
She only knows how to do what she knows how to do with what she is given.
Exactly.
And that is it. The same way I saw it a different way. So if you see it a different way for your kids, you do that. But she didn't see it that way. So you can't be mad at that, because we all have our own minds and our own discretions on how we're going to do things. And it's just what it is, So still respect, still love, all of that,
give grace.
Yes, give grace. Definitely give grace. But, so we have these sessions with the kids every night. Because think about it. I had those sessions with the girls, but I didn't have those sessions with the boys. Because they didn't have that one-on-one time to get their hair done. They went to the bar.
Right. But that's deep too. That's deep too, because I know in my family, the girls was always treated differently from the boys. Like, the girls is always overprotective, but the boys could go do whatever they want. And the same goes for when we was talking about teenage pregnancy. Who's having a conversation with the boy to say,
that's right,
respect, honor, love?
That's right.
Be a man.
Especially when you're being a young man raised with a mother and father, but the respect is there. The control is there. And if it's controlling, there's no respect going on. On either end. Right. Because that ball bounced both ways.
That's true.
Because I'm human too. Let's not forget that.
I have feelings.
Because if I'm going to tell a story, I'm going to tell both sides. I'm not just going to give that side.
Right.
And not give mine. I was disrespectful. That's why I said so many times that I was the unsubmissive one. Because I was not being respectful. Because I was miserable. How can you be respectful in a miserable situation?
Right.
You're not going to give any respect to the situation at all.
And I see that a lot these days. Like, I see that so much these days. A lot of times women feel like, even now, the single women feel like, well, I can't find a man because I want him to do X, Y, Z. You're putting your own limitations on people. Your own thoughts. Vision versus perspective.
Yes. And first, you got to do that for yourself.
Exactly.
This is the thing. We teach people how to treat us.
That's true. We do 100%.
And if a person recognizes what you do for yourself,
don't do,
they're going to follow, and they're going to reciprocate exactly what you put forth. It's just what it is. That's how it works.
100%. And that's, again, why I noticed passiveness was my flaw. Because I always was like, well, I don't care about you. Well, what do you care about? So let's start with the stuff that you do care about. What you do think about.
I truly believe, even though we ended up in a situation of infidelity, and infidelity on both parts, we ended up in a situation of infidelity. We're going to get there, girl. We're going to get We ended up in, because we got to talk about all of that, because I also want the ladies to know about being in a marriage that does support what you do, but you don't have the time to dedicate to the marriage, because we got to talk about that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this.
Look, how much time we get?
So let me ask you this: time to dedicate to the marriage. A lot of people don't understand what that means, because they feel like when you take on this role of being a wife, right? You take on this role of being a wife, and he takes on the role of being a husband, right? And you're thinking about, what should I be doing? What could I be doing? Could I have done something better? Could I have listened? Could I have dressed better? Cooked more? Communication? Handle finances better? Right? Like, all of those things are impactful in a marriage. Yes. All of those things are contributions to the dissolution of a marriage. And people don't want to talk about that. It's just, you get mad, I get mad, we add each other through. Or you get mad, I get mad, I'm going to go cheat. But we still together for the kids.
Exactly. So let's get into
it. Go ahead.
So how did I find out? We're doing our Saturday evening sessions with the kids, and my oldest daughter says, which she's not biologically his, she wanted to know, well, she didn't know anything about her biological, because her biological was doing his thing, incarcerated at the time, all of that kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
So, which he wouldn't mind me saying. We actually best friends till this day.
That's good.
You know.
As you should be.
But she wanted to know about her daddy and where he was and when he was coming home. Yeah, so I skipped over that part, y'all. Yeah. He literally left us to come back to New Orleans to quote unquote work. You know, you're at work, but you know, you can't get caught on your cell phone. Not caught by work, caught by me. You're not picking up the phone. When you do pick up the phone, you're disgruntled. You're cussing me out. You are, you know, badgering me about running up your minutes on your cell phone. Yeah, because at that time, that's when we
they don't know nothing about this. You have to wait till 3 after 9 and all that.
Yes. You know, so, but then I can't catch you when your minutes become free. So what's up? Of course, my mind is running wild, and I'm not gonna lie. So this is when I started drinking. I hadn't even drank before then, but that's when I started drinking. I started drinking to cope. To cope, and
so drinking was your coping mechanism.
Yeah, that was my coping
and your crutch,
because I needed to go to sleep while I was crying. I ain't need to keep crying all night and then my head hurting. Then before I know it, the sun coming up and I got to get the kids up for school, and then that's lagging. Exactly. So I was like, you know, let me get a little drink, help me go to sleep. And then the drink became...
Not the church lady drinking.
That became a shot here, and then a glass, and then mixed drinks, because then I learned how to mix. And I'm a little mixologist by now.
Because you were stressed out. It's giving Annalise at this point.
Yes. So my daughter comes to me and she's like, hey, you know, I want to go see my daddy.
Okay.
And I'm like, the responsible thing to do is like, you know, baby, mama can't afford to take us to New Orleans right now. So she was like, oh no, my birthday just passed. I got my birthday money. I said, and you willing to put your birthday money in my gas tank? She's like, yeah, I want to go see my daddy. I said, well, let me think about it. She said, no, we're not going to think about it. We're going.
Oh, she made the decision.
I said, okay. So I loaded up the kids and I went. Lo and behold, all those months I could not get him on the phone. Whew. My phone is ringing off the hook. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? We at the park. We here. We're there. I never said that we were coming to New Orleans. I get to New Orleans and he's not where he said he was going to be. Okay. So, and at this time, I can't really pinpoint exactly how many months after Katrina it was, but it was not a year after Katrina. This was months. This is when the city was still in darkness.
Right. Okay.
You know, because it took the city a long time to come back, just with power on the street.
Hold on. Stop. I gotta switch because my phone had died.
Okay. All right. So lo and behold, we drive 8 hours to New Orleans, and I never said, you know, that I was coming. You know, and for somebody who never answered the phone when I would call, now my phone is blowing up. But I never answered. I get to New Orleans and he's not where he said he was going to be, which is a family of mine trip. Now I've already gotten in the wind that he was somewhere he was not supposed to be on my family's property with someone other than me. But sometimes we know how messy family can be. So we choose to ignore. We choose not to see the sign.
Red flag.
Yeah. So I just ignored it. I'm a person, like, my friends can never come tell me about another person. You know, girl, I can't tell you what so and so did. Okay, well, until so and so do that to me, that's your experience with so and so. That's not my experience with so and so. So that's just the type of person I am. So, you know, and I am one of them ride or dies. You know, our friend over here talk about ride or dies all the time. I am that ride or die. You're not gonna come tell me nothing about my man
at all. At all.
You not.
I gotta see it for myself.
I gotta see it for myself, and that's just what it was. So, and of course, I wanted to know what was going on. I wanted to know why you was acting like this every time I would call. I want to know why you're telling me you coming to Alabama and you don't show up. I want to know why you leaving my children on pause, because they're looking for you too. They looking for you more than I'm looking for you at this point.
Right.
You know, so
it's
that's
behind me.
Right. And I don't think men get how much that hurts us as parents, having to be that person that the children fall back on when the other parent doesn't show up,
or having to be strong.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they get that part. But so I get to New Orleans. He's not where he's supposed to be, and I call, and he argued me down that I'm not in New Orleans. I'm lying, and I explained the property, my uncle's property, to him. I tell him they got 2 finger trailers sitting on the property, one on the street and one in the driveway.
And you not here.
And you not here. As a matter of fact, I've been in the trailer and it has not been slept in. There's no sheets. There's no nothing. Are you sleeping in here without sheets? Oh. Stay right there. I'll be right there. So he never shows up. It becomes about 10 o'clock at night. We're sitting there waiting for him to show up. And I actually left and went to the night ward by his grandfather. So he shows up to his grandfather's house at about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, which is totally disrespectful. We just got these people up out of their bed. They're elderly. I'm here with your children. You waking me up. Like, what's up? I know what I need to know now. And that's just that. Let me go. I'm like this. If you need to go, you need to go.
Right.
If I am not what you see fit in your life, tell me so we can both go our separate ways. We don't need to fight. We don't need to argue. We don't need to do none of that.
Right. Absolutely.
So it was a sense of relief for me. It ended up coming out actually later on exactly why he was there, who he was with, and, you know, not really who this person was, but I believe that this is the person he ended up marrying after we divorced.
Okay.
You know,
but you never got the full down truth on that answer.
No.
And so that was it, the last straw.
That was
you
the
came
last
to New Orleans, you was just like,
yes. After
this
that,
we doing, okay, we done.
That's right.
So you filed for divorce.
I did not immediately.
Okay.
We split and we reconciled. Well, we reconciled later, and then I ended up moving back to New Orleans. So this is how I get back to New Orleans. And again, still same entrepreneurial spirit, because keep in mind, I just got a GED after Katrina hits.
Right.
Never had a job. So who was going to hire me? And I'm hitting 30 years old with no work experience.
Right.
Like, make this make sense.
What you going right home, Mika?
Girl, to be honest with you, I did. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
I was responsible
Look, it's all in the word. So so we get back to New Orleans, and it's just the same thing. So, but the infidelity on my part, let me not pass that part up. Right. So when everything happened here in New Orleans and I got here to see exactly where he was, that, you know, wasn't suitable for me, and I knew what was going to come next, I went back to Alabama. And going back to Alabama, of course, like, you know,
met somebody.
I met somebody. Yeah. Which was complete. That was the most selfish point in time in my life that I ever indulged into a relationship. Or
why?
Not
so
even
just felt like
not even a relationship. It was
it was a rebound.
Yes. It wasn't even about a get back or a rebound. Because if I'm done, I'm done.
Okay.
But I wasn't divorced. And that was the big thing.
It brought you back to Bible.
Yes. You know, but do I stop? No, because I'm hurt. I'm emotional, and I felt like I needed that support. Vulnerable, and I felt like I needed that support. And more than me needing that support, this was somebody who put bread on the table. And we ain't talking about a loaf.
You talking about bread?
We talking about bread.
Okay.
You know, and
the factory.
Yes.
The owl.
Yes. So and it was something, even being married for all those years, it was something that I never experienced. And I didn't know that somebody could be that vulnerable with you. And that's why I say,
because you haven't experienced that type of man.
Exactly.
At that point.
So that's why I say it was the most selfish point in time in my life, because I knew what was going to come out of it. And it wasn't a relationship. It was nothing. It was a fling, and that's just what it was.
It was fun.
It wasn't even fun because it brought on a lot of guilt. Because like you said, we're in Bible country. I am in a state, in a city where my grandparents are. Everybody talks. And I knew people were talking. I had to make myself believe that I didn't care.
Right. And you actually did. And that was killing you on the inside.
Yes. Yes. It brought on a lot, and it taught me a lot about myself. You know, and that's not what a lot of people understand. A lot of people don't understand that when you go through things, it's a learning experience. If you're willing to step outside of yourself and take a look at the whole picture.
The difference is, in the learning experience, if you don't learn the lesson, you're going to continue to get that same test, just in different ways.
Girl, let's fast forward to marriage number 2.
Okay, marriage number 2.
When I married my now husband, that was my thought process. Am I making the same mistake?
Right.
Is he going to be as controlling? Is he going to respect my mind? Because I am an entrepreneurial spirit. I am. Y'all got to understand this. But anybody who has an entrepreneurial spirit is a free spirit.
But did he respect all of those things before the marriage?
Yes.
Because he not going to just wake up and start respecting.
Not true. Not true. Come on, you married woman. You already know.
I'm married.
Before we get married, that is the representative.
I know.
Once we sign that piece of paper, it becomes a whole
times 10.
Yes.
However, if y'all not growing together.
Yes. But
you know,
he did respect it in the beginning. And what made me want to talk about this with you is my cousin. Right as soon as you invited me on, my cousin was like, sis, we got to talk about this. And I was like, you know what? I just got invited to a podcast. I'm going to talk about it.
As you should. Because it's your story. Like I tell people all the time, your testimony, you can't have your testimony without getting through your tests. And these were all your tests.
Yes.
A few times you probably failed.
Yes.
You ain't see yourself failing. You just was going through the motions and doing what you had to do.
We stopped because of failure. And failure is one thing that we're afraid of. And looking back at it now, I shouldn't have stopped. I should have kept going. But I stopped and felt like I needed to start over. Because I do want to talk about that too. I don't know if we haven't time. We'll probably need to do part 2. But, you know, starting and stopping is something that you should not do in entrepreneurship. You got to see it through.
Right.
Because there's you can't get to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow if you get halfway through the rainbow and stop. You're never going to get there.
Right.
So, you know, so that's what it was, girl. It's been a lot. I'm
smiling down with this one. You smiling. You happy.
I'm very happy.
You at the rainbow. You at the rainbow.
I'm at the rainbow. It's time.
Into this marriage. So in this marriage, did you feel like I've done everything that I needed to do for me?
Yes.
Now I'm ready to be somebody's partner.
Yes.
Somebody's submissive wife.
Yes.
I've been the unsubmissive wife already.
The thing about it is I didn't go looking for a man. He came to me.
That's it. That's the one. Because I see so many people, so many women, or so even men. I'm ready for a woman. I'm ready for a wife. I'm ready for a husband. And it's like, you can't look for it. And the one that you find in the club ain't going to be the one. Anyone. Anyway. Right, so like that's the part that people don't really get. It's if we're going back Bible, it's the man that finds a wife finds a good thing.
That's
so
right.
You shouldn't be looking for no man anyway.
That's right. So you know, so at this point in time, the divorce is going on, and because the divorce y'all went on for 5 or 6 years, because y'all got to understand this.
Not you don't want to let go,
girl. I had to let go to save me.
Yeah.
And that's not, you know, I understand. This is the thing. he had control for so long that he thought he won, but he didn't know that, or even realize that I was in the battle with myself. It had nothing to do with him. You know, we're talking about suicide attempt during this divorce. We're talking about, you know, because you got to realize I only have a GED, never had a job. The house that we bought after Katrina to move back to Louisiana was not in my name.
So you felt like I had nothing.
I was facing a brick wall and nothing to tear it down with.
That's hard. So how did you overcome that? How did you become the mogul, the powerhouse? Oh, girl, you better not cry. The powerhouse. How did you get here?
God. I remember that day like it was yesterday. And really, to be honest with you, the suicide attempt was like an out-of-body experience. Like when we talk about Virgos all the time, we talk about the strength that these people have, but everybody has this breaking point. And I was to the point where I just felt like I couldn't take no more. And so the first attempt, because we talked about 2 attempts in one day. The first attempt was for me to crash the vehicle, which lamppost fell down on and completely demolished the vehicle. And when they pulled me out of the vehicle, I didn't have a scratch on. I literally felt, now my hands are on the steering wheel. When it happened, I literally felt the seat.
Impact.
No, I felt the seat fall backwards. Right then and there, I knew I had, you know, angels surrounding me, God on my side. I knew it. So at that point, it wasn't a state of confusion. I would be lying to you if I said it was a state of confusion, but that's what I felt, if that makes sense. But it wasn't. It really was. I knew what was going on. I really knew what was going on, and I didn't want to embrace it because I felt like I was done.
Right.
When that happened, you know, of course, they come out, the cars come out. I don't even remember how we got back to the house. We get back to the house, and of course, I go find my 9mm, and I want to put it in my mouth and blow my brains out, but I just could not bring myself to do it.
Wow.
So that was the second attempt in that day. And I just couldn't do it. Till this day, I don't even know if I could carry a firearm because
you scared of yourself.
You know, no, legally.
At that moment.
Not legally.
Oh.
But you know, I'm glad it's something that I can look back on and cry or laugh
cry
about.
And laugh.
Yeah.
In the same
you know, and it's not even a sad cry. It's a cry of joy because I overcame it.
I see joy.
You know, and so let's get to the powerhouse. I just kept moving forward. I knew that this is not the destination or the destiny God had over my life.
Right.
So you gotta pay up. Did I go through being mad with God? And I want to look in the camera when I say this. Yes, I went through that hard spiritual battle of being angry because I felt like I was doing everything that I could do as a mother, as a wife, everything that I was supposed to do. You know, so how did I get here was my question. Why would you let this happen to me? Why would you let my husband step out? Why would you allow me to be in a situation to step out? Even though that's choices, y'all. That's all choices. But it's the choices that we made because I felt as though that's what was, you know, put before me.
Right.
You know, so it just got to the point where I noticed the blessings. The blessings kept coming. You know, a lot of people say when we're in the wrong walk, the God doesn't have room to bless you, but that's not true. He blesses you every day by putting breath in your body. That just something that simple. You know, it's just like the same thing as having faith of a mustard seed. As long as you have something as simple as breath in your body, that's a blessing. You know, so I'm realizing the blessings that God still has for me and what he's still bringing me through. And I'm mad as hell with God. Mad, you know, all except for blasphemy, because I would never say, you know, that. But I was just angry because I just felt like me trying to do my best that I shouldn't have ended up in that position. But sometimes we have to understand that we take life into our own hands, and what we speak over our lives and what we do and those choices that we make in life may not be the choices that God has for us, and He has to remove us from those choices that we have made in order to give us those blessings that He has for us. So, it took me a long time. It took counseling, and not only, psychiatrists, but spiritual counseling as well, because I'm spiritual before I'm worldly. And, so I've had both sides. And to be honest with you, it both met up somewhere in the middle, where it all made sense to tie everything together to say, hey, girl, you got a whole life ahead of you, a whole full life. You got to get it together and move forward. Yeah. So that's how we come to the powerhouse. So after all of this, I've worked in the chemical plants, completely miserable. Y'all just don't know. Them chemical plants ain't nowhere to be for a female. However, I have a degree in petrochemical. Okay. I can go be an operator, just refuse to. So there we go. We go right back to entrepreneurship. I've worked at the post office. I worked for the post office for 7 years. So I know when Dricka met me and I won the Powerhouse Award, I was in credit then and doing very well in credit. Right after Powerhouse, the company got audited by FTC, and I was like, okay, my credibility is shot. Wow. So how do I recover from that being connected to this company? And my first mindset was, don't go back. God is shifting this for a reason. Go with the shift. Sometimes you just have to go with the shift. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to figure it out. Just go with it. So I decided to go with it. Next thing happens. Ex-husband passes away.
Kids?
The 6 kids. Oh. Yes. Oh. He passes. And what a relationship that I never thought would be regained was the relationship with me and my kids for divorcing their father. They lived with him. A lot of people want to talk about, actually, I made a comment on social media the other day under a post because I felt like the police department wasn't doing their due diligence on a situation that happened in my family. And somebody called herself trying to come for me to say, well, didn't you lose your kids? I lost my kids to a suicide attempt. It's really disheartening.
Mental. Yes, that's mental. That's different.
It's really disheartening that, and they didn't go to the state; they were awarded to their father. That's a big difference. But it's real disheartening that we come for one another and don't know the backstory.
Right.
Check your facts, because you're never going to have 100% of the facts of a person's life or what happened to a certain person's situation to be able to speak on it. So, just, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Look, we were talking about that since Monday. Stay in your lane. Run your race at your own pace. All that.
Exactly.
Man, oh my God.
So it's really been a lot. But they went to live with their dad. And during that time, I realized it was time for me to get my life together. It was time for me, for everything that I didn't do that I wanted to do. It was time for me to do it then. So we of course, I got my GED since when Katrina hit. During that time of me being in the middle of the divorce, I made myself busy. I went and got a degree.
Yes.
While I was working in the chemical plant. That's not easy.
While you was making that money.
Yeah. So, oh yeah.
Okay.
So, and right after that, so I went into the post office. I'm back into insurance now. But I got into insurance while I was in college too with Primerica.
Primerica, y'all aggressive.
Because we got the best insurance. But it, with Primerica, the reason why I got out of Primerica, so entrepreneurship, the starting and stopping, y'all. Start and stop. Don't start and stop.
It's the pivot. It's the pivot.
Yeah.
It's all right.
The office I was with, there was some things going on in the office that I did not like and wasn't fitting for a woman, of my stature.
Yeah.
Being married, things like that, So I had to leave. And instead of transferring to another team, I decided to just quit altogether. And I dove into the post office full force, and then got into credit. And then once I got into credit, and then kids, dad passes away, the kids come back home.
Okay.
They come back home,
pivot again,
and grown with a grandbaby. So I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So we have to realize, these children, my children, mm-hmm. are being supported 100% by their father, and I'm just not that parent. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to support somebody who's grown, because now it's time for you to figure out your own way.
Because I figured that out since I was 16.
Me too.
Mm.
My mama didn't buy Jordans, mm-hmm. and that's part of the reason why I wanted to do hair, is because my mama didn't buy Jordans. Mm-hmm. Jordans was a big thing for us. Mm-hmm. Chucks was a big thing for us.
And that's when Jordan was on it, like one stuff.
What Bally's? I wanted Bally's. I wanted it. Them starter jackets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had to have it. I'm that label girl. I am. Mm-hmm. But with their dad passing away, them all coming back home. Now I have my daughter and my grandson, mm-hmm. and she's pregnant again. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, nobody's gonna hire you pregnant because you're a big liability, mm-hmm. unless we can get you hired at a bank. Okay,
a good job,
right? Right. So she was like, well, Mom, I really like what you're doing. I like entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. And she supported the Powerhouse and everything, the whole campaign. Mm-hmm. She did posting, she did everything. She ran for her mama. She ran for her mama. Come on. And so I was like, okay, what do you want to do? So she was like, well, I already got the kids. Let's start a nursery. So I started digging into in-home daycare. Okay. And we started thinking about that. And I put her into it because, you got to go take the online class. Mm-hmm. Got her in the online class. I don't know about this. I'm like, good. I'm glad you told me now. So I was on the phone because remember, credit at this point is at a halt because we're trying to figure out what this company going to do, all of that good stuff. Mm-hmm. So I have another business partner that was in credit with me at the same time. We became good friends. She's in California. Mm-hmm. And she was like, Celena, girl, I'm telling you, start a cleaning business. And let me tell y'all something.
Then boom, you start the cleaning business.
Never did I think I would be scrubbing anybody's toilet, mm-hmm. washing anybody's dishes. That wasn't me. I'm just gonna say it wasn't me. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it. I never thought about it, but it happened. It happened, and I absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love it because I'm not a person. Well, we're all money driven. Don't get that wrong or misconstrued. We're all money driven, but for me, when it gives me a sense that I'm helping people, it just becomes a whole totally different ball game. And when I see the faces of people that I've cleaned their house, and the most dear person, the most dear client that I ever had, well, I'm not gonna call no names, but she's a very good friend of mine. I cleaned for her mom, and her mom is legally blind. Mm. And when the lady walked in the house, she was like, oh my goodness, it smells so good in here. It just did something to my heart. That's what I love. That is what I get out of it. And that's why I love it. We have free days where we go clean up for the elderly who cannot clean up for themselves. And when I tell y'all,
I love that.
It'd be a mess. It'd be a mess. But the thing about it is that they appreciate it so much. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anybody knows, because I didn't know this when we started doing it, but people that are in assisted living facilities or old folks' homes, or if they have an apartment that they rent but it's subsidized, mm-hmm. if their place is not kept up to par, mm-hmm. they can get put out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do.
I didn't know that.
They have to sign paperwork. They do inspections just like similar to like handling stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that until we started this cleaning company. So the cleaning company goes on full force. And when I tell y'all, a lot of people say, if somebody come and tell you they made $1 million in 3 minutes, we did not make $1 million. We're not at $1 million status yet. It's a manifestation.
I love it. Yeah.
We're manifesting that million. But we took off the minute I launched it. The minute I launched it. And and I'm gonna give them those good pointers on how we launched it. We launched it with that app that everybody's seeing on Instagram, Home Glow.
And guess what? I saw you on Homoglow.
Yes.
Shout out to Homoglow because I saw you on there. Okay.
We launched it with Homoglow,
and it took off from there.
It took off from there. They liked the job that we were doing, and they said, "Well, your profile says Fleur de Lis Janitorial, so you guys don't work for Homoglow." I said, "No, we're independent. Give me your business card." And when their subscription ran out, they started calling us
directly.
Directly.
So you get those direct bookings.
Exactly.
Amazing. What's the name of your cleaning company?
Fleur de Lis Janitorial.
And how long y'all been around?
A year. 1 year.
Okay, so you do residential and commercial. Okay, yes. And that's where you at right now.
Yes.
That's the end all be all for Celena?
No. Because I just joined a net.
Okay.
And travel agency.
Okay. So you got a travel agency.
We're back in the insurance industry.
Okay. That is amazing.
Yes.
So I want to call this pivoting into the powerhouse.
All right.
I like that. I think so. All right, let's close out by giving me one word to describe where you are right now. One word.
One word. I'm happy.
Oh,
happy.
I love that. I see happy though. Happy. Like even in the midst of you about to cry and stuff earlier, just explaining your story because I feel like you've never gotten to express it. Like therapy and all that is cool, but like really just telling your own story.
I'm gonna tell you my biggest mistake with my story is that I let everybody tell it but me. So this was my opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Celena, tell everybody where they can contact you or find you.
All right. So you can contact me on Instagram, Celena.Sykes, or you can contact me at Fleur de Lis Janitorial on Instagram, also Fleur de Lis Janitorial on Facebook, and Celena.Sykes as well on Facebook. Everything is my name. Y'all just Google.
Thank y'all so much. And as always, thank y'all for coming to another Wednesday Comma Convos episode. As always, I'm your host, Dricka Carter, and I want to see you winning in royalty. See y'all next time.
Bye.
You get one more to socials to the camera one time.
My socials.
Look in this camera.